Welcome to Jamie TV and thank you for tuning in. Steinberg have just released Iconica Sketch for mobile devices. It's been available for desktop for some time, but now you'll be able to purchase it as a standalone application for iPad or iPhone, and it will also work as an AUV3 inside of your favorite AUV3 host. If you're a Cubasis user, you can go to the Cubasis store and download a native version for no extra cost that will just be there inside of Cubasis. You don't even have to open it as an AUV3. Android users, although you'll not be able to get the standalone version, if you're a Cubasis user, you will be able to go to the store and purchase it there, and it will work natively in Cubasis. So what is it? Well, it's 34 orchestral instruments, beautifully recorded, sounds absolutely awesome, and it gives you control over all manner of different articulations right from your keyboard. Let's have a look at how it all works. Downloading the Iconica Sketch app will only take a moment as it's only 18.5 megabytes. But once it's downloaded, open up the standalone version and you will be prompted to download the original Iconica recordings, which amount to 1.8 gigabytes. These recordings have been remastered to achieve a well-balanced, high-quality orchestral experience, whilst at the same time not taxing your device's resources too heavily. With the content downloaded, we can see that in this window at the top, we can select which orchestral instrument we want to play from the menu. The question mark over here will take you to some online instructions. In settings, we can transpose the whole keyboard in semitones, and here we can adjust tuning if maybe you want to decrease your heart rate by tuning to the resonant frequency of the universe. And here we can adjust the number of voices Iconica is allowed to handle at any one time. Larger values may have a negative impact on CPU performance, but this will depend on your device. We can select a channel for incoming MIDI here. Select a wired controller here, and a Bluetooth controller here, if you have one, which I don't. And this button here is a MIDI panic button in case you're using one of those USB MIDI cables that's as poor quality as the one I bought. Now I'm going to select Bassoon 1 from the menu, and you'll see the interface adjusts to accommodate the articulations and parameter changes available for this instrument. Also, the keyboard is lit up to show you the range of this instrument. Let's toggle the keyboard left here to find the lowest note that this instrument is capable of. That would be a B flat. The notes that are highlighted orange, as though it's been done with one of those pens school teachers have, can be used to switch between articulations right from the keyboard. But because we have a whole orchestra in this app, the range of each instrument will vary drastically, so the articulation switches will not always be in the same place on your keyboard. Let me go to basses. So here you can see that this instrument goes way down low to C0. But look under the articulation switches, which of course you can just select with your finger if you want. and underneath you can see the notes that would select them. So we toggle the keyboard right, and there they are, starting at C4. If you want to change which note selects a particular articulation, tap the note here and just play in the note that you want to use. You'll notice that more articulations are available for the basses than the bassoons. This is how Iconica works. The UI is refreshingly simple and just displays the things that you need. For example, if I go to tubular bells, all it has is a stop button. For this and other instruments that ring out for a long period of time, we can kill that sustain thusly. I'm going to go to the percussion map, where you'll see there's a vast amount of orchestral percussion. I just love drums. The dynamics display here will show you how hard or soft you're hitting the note, if you're using a touch-sensitive controller. We must look at timpanis. These are my favourite, where we can use a key switch to select between hit and roll. Awesome. Now let's go to some violas. Select sustain, and I'll show you we have a working pitch bend, of course, and the mod wheel, CC1, can be used with the sustain and legato articulations to adjust note velocity and get some real expression going on. Just here, the level control affects the selected articulation. So I could, for example, set my tremolo to be quite ballsy, and then fall onto the sustain articulation set lower for a bit of drama. We can adjust the attack and release here, but to be honest, I found the app comes with optimum settings, so I've barely touched them. And main controls the master volume for the instrument. If you're using an iOS DAW other than Cubasis 3, then Iconica Sketch will load up like any other AUV3 instrument. But Steinberg have done something special for the Cubasis 3 fam. Once you've installed Iconica Sketch and downloaded the content, open Cubasis 3 and go to the store. There you will be able to download a native version of Iconica Sketch for no extra cost. So now you'll be able to select it as a built-in instrument like this, instead of as an AUV3. This is mega because this doesn't require any bridging across the iOS audio unit interface, and so it offers increased performance and the potential to add a lot of instances of the application. Other than stating that fact, there's not a lot more to tell you about using Iconica Sketch in a DAW. The interface is the same and it works the same. But I do want to show you just this one little thing. The notes that can be used to switch between articulations can also be used in a DAW's piano roll to do the same job. I suppose the question that a lot of people are going to ask is, how does Iconica compare to the Swarm instruments? But it's not really a fair comparison. First of all, if you look at the price of one individual Swarm instrument and compare it to Iconica, right, you see what I'm saying? And also, those are solo instruments, and I don't think that they sound better than Iconica at all. But they do offer, they go deeper, they offer more articulation and detail. But yeah, not really a fair comparison. An ideal situation, I think, if you were orchestrating something massive, would be to use Iconica with some Swarm instruments and maybe some other orchestral apps and stuff. I'd not really thought about that. What other orchestral apps are there on iOS? Comment below, I'm interested to hear your thoughts. There is iSymphonic, but I hate the AUV3 implementation. I own some stuff on it, but I just don't use it anymore. Anyway, I've got off the point. It's not like me. Right, so now what really impresses me about this app is the way that it's been implemented. For me, Steinberg have absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one, and I know that's like a YouTuber thing to say. Yeah, I'll be saying game changing next. But anyway, right, so I love the way that this app has been put together. It's beautifully simple, so easy to use, and it just gives you everything you need. It works flawlessly for me. I just think it's superb. The fact that you've got the standalone app for maybe your live keyboard player, you know, you've got your AUV3, which works in any DAW and has all the same features. But for me, what's really awesome for me is the native version that works in Cubasis 3. I've got so many instances of it going on, and it's not glitching at all. It just works superb. I love this app. So I think that if you were wanting to add an orchestral score, if you were wanting to add some orchestration, in the background of a pop track, a rock track, I think that this is more than a professional enough sounding application to do that. But what about if you were wanting to do just a purely orchestral, a massive orchestral arrangement with just Iconica? Would it stand up? Well, first of all, I'm going to say thank you for watching. I'm going to say make lots of music and look after the planet and each other, and try not to piss pants about. Now listen to this and you make your own mind up. See you later.